You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, it's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to be discussing Rangers' draw with Alashkert in Armenia. If you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and we'll be well on our way. We'll just get straight into this video, guys. So it says I'm going to start talking about Alashkert versus Rangers. It finished 0-0, that's it, video done, didn't talk about any more. Who we got next? Now in all seriousness, we really struggled in that game. Disappointing performance. I'll take the result, it gets us through. Not the way we wanted to go through, we wanted to be comfortable, and that wasn't a comfortable game to watch. They did get a player sent off, and that's now the third European game in a row that there's been a sending off in the game. 1 for and 2 against. It really doesn't help the quality of the game, to be honest. I wish it didn't happen and we could have 11v11, but it didn't quite happen that way. Well done to Ross McCrory, by the way. I keep saying Ross McCrory, it's because obviously his brother, but well done to Robbie McCrory for making his debut. Slightly behind his brother Ross, by the way, who made his debut a couple of years ago in a game against Hibs. Both kept clean sheets, which is fantastic news for the McCrory family. Obviously we didn't really talk about Ross anymore since he'll be up to Aberdeen, but delighted for Robbie McCrory. Didn't get tested a lot, but kept a clean sheet, and that's all you really need to do as a goalkeeper, keep them out. So I don't really know how to talk about this game. Normally I go into a lot of detail and tell you some of the chances we had and some of the chances they had, but we've created so many chances that it's pretty much hard to put into words how we missed them all. Morelos had more than a hatful of chances. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 chances he had, and 3 of them were, he should have had a hat-trick. There's no getting away from it. The first one kind of bounced in front, and you can maybe say it took a wee bounce and might have put him off, but he should be hitting the target for there. He was about maybe 8 yards out or something. Should hit the target, doesn't he? Blazes it over the bar. The second one is by far the worst for me. I think we've all known this about Morelos. When he gets maybe just too much time on the ball and he's one-on-one, he tends to kind of fluff his lines. And he could have done a lot of things. He could have chipped it over the goalkeeper, he could have put it through his legs, or he could have taken it round the player, taken it round the goalkeeper. He could have done so many things. He could have smashed it down either side of him. He waited till the keeper went down and then hit it straight at him. Really frustrating. And the third one, he's just kind of taken the wrong option. It comes into him, fantastic ball by the way from Patterson, and he decides to take the volley, left foot volley, very hard technique, and he probably could have just taken a touch, cushioned it down and put it in with his right foot. Either that or maybe ducked down, wee diving header, and it would have been a goal. He's just simply got to hit the target. There was a couple of chances, no maybe as clean cut as them, but I'm not going to go into too much detail of how many chances were created because there was a lot. Goldson had a chance in the first half, Hadji had a chance, I believe it was in the second half with a header. It was really close, but the real main talking point was the sending off. The boy James Santos rather. The first booking I think is for dissent because he made a tackle, and for me it was a booking anyway. I think he kind of stopped to play a bit and it was probably worthy of booking anyway, but the referee, who by the way was the same referee that sent Morelos and John Flanagan in the UFA game a couple of years ago, so he obviously doesn't like dissent because that's what Morelos got sent off for. This boy slams the ball down, gets a booking, and 5 minutes, was it about 5 minutes later, he's gone through. Robbie McCrory has to come out and collect it, and then he's caught him in the face. At first I thought it was maybe just accidental, but when you see the replay, he's clearly got enough time to jump over him and move his foot out of the way, but he kind of swipes his foot and kicks him in the head. For me it was probably a straight red. There was no intent to kind of move away from the situation, and he done it deliberately in my opinion, so it should have been a straight red. I know it doesn't really affect anything in terms of numbers on the pitch, but he should be getting more of a severe punishment for that in my opinion. So yeah, normally I go into detail on the first half and the second half and all the chances, but I'm not going to do that this week because it wasn't a great game to watch. It was really uncomfortable. They came in more and more in the game in the second half. They've obviously got that belief that we weren't going to score. We could have played for another 96 minutes and not scored a game. It was just one of the games, and we've seen it so many times for Rangers. Focus on the positives though. Do you know what? We're in the next round. We're into the group stage. That's where we wanted to be. We could have easily won that game 4-5-0 and cruised in. Doesn't matter. It's all about getting through at this stage, and we're in the draw. If anybody hasn't seen the draw, by the way, we're in Group A alongside Lyon of France. Obviously ourselves, Sparta Prague, not to be confused with Slavia Prague, who had all that trouble with back was it March this year, where they had all that racist stuff with Kudela and stuff. It's no them, it's their neighbours Sparta Prague, but I think Sparta Prague played Celtic not that long ago actually. So I think they're the easier of the two Pragues, to be honest, but it's still going to be an interesting tie going back to Czech Republic again. And the other team is Brøndby of Denmark. Interesting one. Looking at the teams that we could have got, Marseille were in there, the two Spanish teams which we managed to avoid. West Ham we managed to avoid, so I think we Fenerbahce, I didn't fancy them either. We have avoided quite a few good teams, so I'm pretty happy. We were always going to get a team a level above us because of how the seeding works. We were always going to be in that second pot, so we're always going to get a good team and then two teams that are probably next to our level or below, so it's worked out pretty well. I'm really happy with the draw. Can't wait for the games to come, but hopefully we improve on our performances. Tell me what you guys think of the performance. By the way, I'm going to give man of the match to Davis. I think it was probably between him and maybe Patterson. I thought Patterson was fantastic doing that right hand side all night. Made a couple of mistakes positionally. He's got to kind of learn for that, but I think once we get a proper midfield, once we get Ryan Jack back who covers that area so well, I think we will defend slightly better. But yeah, happy to get through, disappointed with the result, and let me know what you guys think. Just going to end the video there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers guys.